Hi everybody, it's Honest John. Welcome once again to the great debate. And thank you for your questions. Please feel free to post any question you want in the comments section. exileguy and I will answer all questions. And you can also post your questions as video responses, and we really love video responses. So Pastafarian has asked the following question. And he's got a story to tell. He says, I'm a personal care assistant for my autistic grandson. Because of the Republicans, my pay will drop $3 an hour. What will you do to help Americans like me? First of all, man, that's so cool that you're taking care of the grandson. And you know, you're saving the state a bunch of money by doing that. But if they make it so you can't afford to do it, then you're going to have to turn the child over to the state, and they're going to spend more money taking care of the kid than they would have. See, that's the thing. We've got this cut spending frenzy going on, so we're cutting shit that saves money. In the end, some of those cuts are going to cost more money than they save. That's ridiculous. It's stupid, but it's politics. What will I do? Quite simple. I'll tax the rich. And we'll use some of that money to restore programs like this to their full funding. If anybody wants to take care of their relative with a disability, they should get all the help we can give them.
Well, I have to say that I pretty much agree with what Honest John says, except I think I would take it a step further. And those kind of people who try to create that kind of legislative nonsense that only punishes the people who really need the most help, those kind of people I think should be deported to Texas. I think they should be added to that list of crazy ass motherfuckers who, because they're such shitheads and douchebags, that the only thing you can do with them is send them to fucking Texas.
Mr. Anthony has asked, what will you do about the large income gap between the rich and the poor? And he adds that this is a big problem and it's getting bigger. Again, I'll tax the rich. And we'll use some of that money to create some jobs. And that'll get some people out of poverty. And we'll use some of that money to fund education grants and scholarships so that kids who don't have money can get out of poverty by getting an education and getting a better job. And we'll also use some of that money to actually help the poor. I don't mind when my tax money is used to help the poor. It pisses me off when my tax money is handed over to rich motherfuckers.
Again, I have to agree with Honest John. I really like his answer, actually, to tell you the truth. But again, I want to take it a little bit further and say that, for example, we have this huge wall we have to build around Texas. That has to be done. It'll put a lot of people to work. It'll put a lot of fucking people to work. But we got to build this wall around Texas. And it has to be paid for. And I think people in the 1%, corporate entities, rich families, should be the ones who pay for the motherfucking wall, the materials, the labor, all of that. And if they have anything left, maybe kick in a little bit for the support of the troops who are going to guard that wall. That's what I think about that.
And finally, Etzel33 has asked, what about the babies? Now, you know, this question is mostly directed to Exile Guy. And let me just say, I'm glad somebody's finally asking that question. We need for more of you to put pressure on Exile Guy. He needs to hear from other people besides me. There are rumors that babies regularly go missing from the Acme orphanage. And also there needs to be an investigation of the Gambino Adoption Agency.
Now here's where I get a little bit pissed, if you know what I'm talking about, everybody. Here we go. Honest John with his goddamn accusations and his character assassination attempts and who to investigate, alright? Anybody that I might be associated with. If I talk to somebody on the goddamn telephone once 20 years ago, this motherfucker is going to want them investigated so they'll be embarrassed and not support me anymore, okay? I mean, there is a method to the motherfucker's madness, alright? And this shit about what about the babies? Come on now, everybody. You all know. I've talked about it. I've talked about it countless times. I've answered the questions. Just stop with the goddamn motherfucking babies, or I'm going to lose my goddamn temper. And then what? And then I'm only going to find it again.